Hi, my name is Tamara Buford, and we're going to talk about emotional intelligence and depression. Emotional intelligence is important for depression among adolescents because it increases their well-being and it helps the adolescents cope with daily events and activities in school. It is a set of skills that process emotional information accurately and efficiently, including the ability to perceive, assimilate, understand, and regulate emotions. The research question that we have today is, what effect does emotional intelligence have on students experiencing depression and social anxiety in school? In the literature review, the role of emotional intelligence in anxiety and depression among adolescents, the researcher examined the relationship between emotional intelligence, anxiety, depression among adolescents. The researcher measured the thought suppression, self-esteem, anxiety, and depression in the high school students. Having the ability to regulate emotions in the self and in others is considered to be a crucial dimension of emotional intelligence. Within this study, researchers have studied and investigated the population of 10th grade students from two different California high schools. The researchers reported a controlled pre and post intervention laboratory experiment using electrophysiology methods on random stratified samples of students from intervention schools and control schools. The potential methods that are used are Likert type scales, which is a questionnaire test. The methods used in these studies and strategic emotion regulation abilities. The methods measure the different strategies for dealing with emotional challenges, interpersonal and interpersonal situations. Observation is the cognitive model test anxiety responses, which include worry, negative effects, and physiological activation. Within the intervention, the measures of emotion regulates do not measure emotions using Likert type tests, using questionnaires or other methods of personality traits, motivation, and skills, but it measures the emotions that creates the ability for the respondents to solve problems and to get positive outcome. Mixed method is appropriate for this research because the research can use both quantitative and qualitative approach. The subcentral exploratory can explain the phenomenal approach to develop and test like type methods. The combined approach provides a better understanding of focus groups and one-on-one interventions and interviews. In this study, the rational response to the test is the high test anxiety subgroup, test performance, baseline, resting and stress preparation, which is the HRV measures by the intervention groups. The research design choices for this research is surveys, focus groups, and one-on-one interviews. The ethical issues in this research is the participants will be concerned with the accurate information from the research, revealing permanent and personal information to the media and public papers. The potential ethical issues that will apply to the research are the focus groups. The researchers has to ensure everyone knows their role and responsibilities in the group. The researchers need to provide a group setting for the participant, and the researchers can only use their information in the research study while concealing their identities. Within this conclusion, Depression is a major problem among adolescents. Teaching the adolescents about emotional intelligence can help them recognize their own emotions as well as others in the school setting. The researchers measured the thought suppression, self-esteem, anxiety, and depression in high school students. The researchers can use different approaches that includes mixed methods. The different approaches that will be used in this research is quantitative and quantitative methods. The researchers can use light scale interviews and focus groups. The research has to be mindful not to give out the participant information publicly without their consent. The group emotional intelligence also plays a huge role in the students with depression. Emotional intelligence gives an individual the ability to manage their own emotions and others' emotions around them. Thank you for listening.